everyone feels safe. That's what YouTube. Anyways, there's gonna be nobody here, but I don't really care. I just want to, I don't know, kill some time. Yeah, there's no way there's gonna be anybody here at all. It's 2:00 in the morning, and I can't sleep. So, yeah, this is probably gonna be something that's gonna end in about 2 minutes. So, yeah, no, yeah, we're done. Yeah, there's no way. Anyways, send your comments now because doing something at 2:00 in the morning Eastern Standard Time means that there's going to be no possibility of this lasting longer than 5 or 10 minutes. So, last time I did a live stream, I didn't even really read the comments. So this is probably going to be over in about 1 minute from now. So whatever. No, I don't know. It's worth a try. Yeah, I pretty much said everything about Counter-Strike for Kids that I needed to, a week or two ago. You don't really need to say much more than that. I pretty much said everything there needs to be said about Counter-Strike for Kids a week or two ago, so there's really no point in really doing a stream anymore. But I don't know, I'm here now, so it's probably going to be ended in about 1 or 2 minutes from now. So I don't know. Yeah, there's really nothing to say about that video anymore. Like I pretty much said it so many times before that it's just like, what's the point in saying it now? Like everything has already been said. So yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this, but anyways, hello. It's me. Remember me from 15 years ago? Yeah, that's about it. So if you got a question, you better say it now because, hey, oh, yeah, there we go. Somebody said hi. There we go. There we go, guys. Everybody said hi. Like, that's the whole point of the stream. No, seriously, there's really nothing to say. And that's what's so depressing about this whole thing. Like, there is nothing to say. And I mean, I could tell you about old stories, but chances are you've heard those old stories before. So, like, what's the point? What's the point? But I mean, if you want to suggest me telling an old story, otherwise this whole upload is probably going to go get taken down and deleted. If there's an old story you want me to tell you, or if there's something you want to know about, just let me know now. Otherwise, this thing is getting deleted in 10 seconds from now. I don't know. What can I tell you about Counter-Strike for Kids? Not much. That was a whole video that was made in 3 or 4 days, and that was the whole charm of that video. We just have to make this video in 3 or 4 days. Otherwise, that video would have never been made. So I don't really know what is the story to tell there. When I did that stuff on Machinima.com, I had a guy that worked there who was a big fan of mine, and he promoted that stuff. He promoted my videos, and without that, none of my videos probably would have ever done anything. So I don't know. I mean, what else do you want me to say? I was hoping to get into some big stories, but I can't really do that without somebody here telling me what do you want me to talk about? I got a million stories from 10 years ago, man. Do you have any stories about the Fortress not really. Do I have any stories about the Fortress Forever video? I don't even know. Is that even online anymore? Is that on the internet anymore? That was before TF2 came out, I believe, right? And, I just got Wolfer on board to like do like this kind of like funny stuff. Like, you know, we were just like Wolfer and I would like just like me and other guys in those videos back in those days would bounce video. We would bounce ideas back and forth off each other. Like, hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. And that's kind of what became like that Fortress Forever. And, you know, Mr. Central, Cody, who had like he was like a big part of that Counter-Strike for Kids video. He would like ask me like, hey, like, or like we would bounce video ideas off each other. And he was a big reason why that Fortress Forever Source Mod Todd video had any kind of like content at all. And he's a big reason why that video was freaking anything at all, you know? So I got to give credit to him for that video because, like, you know, that Fortress Forever Source Mod Todd video was kind of silly and, like, it really didn't, like, have a ton of ideas, but, like, we made up, you know, it's just like G-Man Squad. Like, we improv'd a bunch of ideas that kind of got us from nothing to a video. And a lot of that is because of him, because he was the one that like improv'd ideas and that sort of thing. Stories about Team Fortress 2 Western. Oh boy. So that was mostly my writing. I can't really say that about a lot of my old videos. Like that was mostly like my kind of script writing, which means it wasn't very good. But no, I mean, oh man, so stories about Team Fortress 2 Western. Here's what I can tell you about Team Fortress 2 Western. So the guy who made Fistful of Frags, all right? I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with like source mod history and stuff like that. So Fistful of Frags was made by this guy from Spain, and he was kind of an asshole. I mean, that's kind of judgmental. Like, I mean, we're being kind of harsh here, but he was kind of a guy that you can't get along with, like somebody that you can't work with. And so when we made the Team Fortress 2 Western video back in those days, we were dealing with this guy who made Fistful of Frags that was just kind of like somebody that you can't work with at all. I don't know if there was a language barrier there. Like, he was somebody that like you can't really like talk to at all. But we totally stole one of his maps. That was I'm not trying to be too technical here or too specific here, but like we stole one of the maps from that mod and ported it to Gary's mod, or it had to have been Gary's mod or something like that. And we totally made that map into a video. Like we turned that map of his into a video. And after we made a Team Fortress 2 Western, you know, I mean, honestly, that wasn't like the worst video in the world. Like, I will admit, like, we did an okay job with it. But after we made that video, the guy who was the creator of Fistful of Frags was like totally upset about the whole thing. He was, especially because like it done pretty, like it definitely got over 100,000 views or 200,000 views, right? But his name, he's a guy from Spain. His name was R_Yell or something like that, which, yeah, wow, real cool name, man, from some guy from Spain. But like, he was so upset about the whole video that you know, all I did was just like, yeah, you know, whatever, dude, like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you know, he changed, you know, I will say this about Fistful of Frags, like, this is not exactly where I was trying to go with this whole live stream or anything, but like, he would change his mod every 2 or 3 months, like to a completely different game, which, I mean, I don't know about you or me. I'm not a game designer or anything, but like, that's probably not a great idea, or not like a solid game plan. Like, oh, you know, oh, here's this mod called Fistful of Frags. Let's change it every 2 or 3 months. You know, like, that's really not like like something you want to do. So I don't know. Can somebody talk about something other than Fistful of Frags? Because so I made a Team Fortress 2 Western in like 2008, and the second I did that, the guy who created that mod was like totally upset with what we did, and it's like, well, sorry, dude. I mean, you can cry about it all you want, but like, it's too late now, you know. So, yeah, Soldiers of Misfortune. Um, I've gotten a lot of criticism about how, like, I got Crackbone to do voiceovers for like the first half of the video, but then the second half of the video, like, that was just me taking old recordings of him and then like incorporating it into the video, which is like, there was a few people that like made fun of me for that, but it's like, well, what else do you expect me to do? Like, if I've said this before in the other live stream and then in other videos before, but it's like, if I have funny recordings, like, I'm going to use it. Like, yeah, like, it's as simple as that. Like, so like Crackbone started as like this German officer, right? But then after that, it's like, well, if I have this old recording of him that is funny, like, I'm going to use it. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, so Source Wars. Who's it? The Movie Maker the Movie Maker pimp. Yeah, it's real hard to be a pimp, right? So, yeah. No, Source Wars was that was a good time, man. Like, when I can just say this, like, the happiest time of my life was when I made that first Source Wars. Like, seriously, like, so when I was making G-Man Squad, that was like a really stressful time period of my life because I had no idea if things were going to go like totally south or if things were going to go really well. But then when I made that first Source Wars video with Counter-Strike and Gary's mod, like, I knew for a fact, like, I think we spent like a month on that video, and I never at one point was like stressed out or worried that we were not going to have a video here. And I can tell you this, like, that is exactly why Source Wars was like, this was January 2009, if I remember right. And that is exactly why, like, I never, ever was stressed out or worried or careful, like, because I had a good script. The thing about Source Wars, and I've said this a million times, we had that ending with the remover gun and taking the bomb out with the remover gun. And because of that, like, I never had any care in the world when I made that video for the entire month that was being made. So, the last movie you made with the, I mean, I did some silly stuff, like, so, what was the last movie I made with the Anna Syndicate? There was some weird stuff that happened at the end, but that was more because of like Crackbone and my agreement with Machinima.com that kind of made things like awkward. But I think the last video was like, so after I made like these 10-minute videos, I would make like these 2 or 3 minute videos that really didn't take off or nobody really gave a shit about. And because of that, like, I really kind of like dipped like fast. I mean, I went to college. So when I was kind of like doing that shit with Machinima.com, I was going to college at the time for some bullshit. And because of that, like, I really dipped off fast. And that is exactly why, like, so, and then I made videos that were only like 2 or 3. Like, does anybody remember Counter-Strike Source Brothers? Like, I don't really want to tell you the whole story behind that, but like, I was at college at the time, and I really was just like in this mood that's just like, I don't give a shit, and I just want to make some fucking video and throw it on there. I'll say this about Machinima.com, like, you had all these people that did these Halo videos, and they did nothing. I mean, literally nothing. And it's like, because of that, you're not really that very motivated to do something that is like kind of like something special, like, Source Wars and G-Man Squad. Like, I spent an entire month on those videos. But then you go, in the later stages of Machinima.com, where they had all these fucking people who were like making Halo videos, like they spent 2 or 3 days, and like all they would do is get like 20,000 views, 10,000 views, maybe 30,000, 40,000 if they were lucky. Like, because of that, like, I was in college at the time. I was doing some fucking bullshit in college, and it's like, there's no way like any of these fucking videos that you spent 2 or 3 days on are going to get any views on at all. And Machinima.com, like, let's just talk about that website for a minute here. Like, Machinima.com, they released all these fucking videos from people, where they didn't like make any effort at all, and like they would only get like 20,000, 30,000 views. They took on 200, 300 of these people who did fucking like 1 or 2 day efforts. I don't know about John. I mean, that guy who fucking made the videos with the action figures, who's that guy, John, who made Arby and the Chief? Like, he did the same kind of thing. Like, he played with action figures, and he did that kind of fucking shit. But like, and then there were so many people that tried to copy him, or they tried to copy Red versus Blue. And like, there's no way you're going to match the popularity of that guy or the people that Rooster Teeth that made Red versus Blue, So Remover Gun Gag was a good one. Yeah, that's how I know, like, you can fill the whole beginning of the video with like a bunch of bullshit, but if you have like a good punchline at the end, that's how like people are going to stick around and watch it, and that's how you're going to get a like on your video. Yeah, Machinima was quite a mess. Who's that? That said, Sky Kid. Yeah, no. So there was a Facebook group for the Machinima.com like directors group, and it got way out of hand because, like, I've said this before in videos, like, the Machinima.com directors group was kind of like an exclusive group of like 30, 40 people, but then they expanded it to like literally 300, 400 people that were like total fucking idiots. And you would go on like that Facebook group and you would read some of their posts, and it's just like, man, I'm sorry for the language, but these people are like fucking retarded, like they would say some of the dumbest shit, like they would be happy with just like putting out like the most dumbest, most fucking retarded shit. And they would be happy with that if they just had like 500 views, I came from like a generation that was like, if I didn't get like 200,000 or 300,000 views, like I would feel like I was a fucking failure. And these people after me, like we're talking like 2013, 2014, like if they didn't get like, well, if they got like 2,000 or 3,000 views, they would take that as like some big fucking victory. And it's like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Like, you made some fucking retarded Halo video and it did fucking nothing, and you're like proud of that, and that's not something you should be proud of. Especially, I mean, look, you can go on the internet today, you can go on TikTok today, and there's all these fucking people that make these fucking stupid fucking retarded videos, and they think they're like some kind of fucking genius. It's a shame. Like, it really is a shame. This TikTok generation and this generation of people that just like make videos that really have no effort whatsoever. Like it takes them like 5 minutes to make this video, and next thing you know, it's got like 1 million, 2 million. I hate to knock on the TF2 people, but like these people that make these TF2 videos, I can't relate to that. Like I grew up with Counter-Strike, and Counter-Strike was like kind of a hardcore scene. Like Counter-Strike was not when I was a kid in high school, I would go on Counter-Strike when I was like, very young, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and those people were hardcore and mean as hell. And like you compare that to these Team Fortress 2 kids, and it's like it's totally different. Like these Team Fortress 2 kids are like they're kind of soft. I hate to do this because it makes me sound like I'm an old school kind of boomer, but like these Team Fortress 2 kids, man, like I can't relate to them at all. Like I love Richter, and I don't love Tyler McVicker. Like I fucking think he's a fucking faggot. But like, like these guys like Richter and other guys like that, like I really don't have a point of reference there. And the only cool story so I don't know how many of you guys know Richter Overtime, but he has an older brother that apparently was on set for G-Man Squad episode 4, which I think is like crazy. Like that's insane. Like it's such a small world because he made some videos that went totally viral, and he has over like 100,000 subscribers. And it's just like, well, how is it possible that you had an older brother that was literally there for G-Man Squad episode 4, and then like, I mean, that was 10 years ago. That was over 10 years ago. Like, how is this possible? Like, it's such a small world. So, I don't know. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. Oh, so somebody just brought up a video I did a long time ago called TF2 Get in Shape, and somebody commented on it recently about how there's a clip at the ending. Okay, so if anybody knows, speaking about TF2, since we're talking about TF2, like if anybody remembers this, let me know. Like there's a clip at the end where I was recording this random guy who was just kind of acting like crazy, right? Because it's TF2, right? Like it's a pub. Like who the hell cares? But like the "We Have 6 Medics" clip. Does anybody remember that clip? We have 6 medics. What the fuck? And HK Sniper, who plays Clyde, is also in that clip, and like he's like screaming in the background. And it's funny. Like we made this really stupid Team Fortress 2 video about fucking nothing. But like I threw that clip in at the very end, and I think I would have done better had I just thrown that clip at the very end in the video and like didn't put anything else in there. Like we have 6 medics. What the fuck? Like that. Like that's all you need to upload, right? Like I think there's a lesson, like I told you about Counter-Strike for Kids. Like there's so many things that you don't have to like include in your video that you think that you have to include, but it's all you have to do is like, especially in this day and age, like all you have to do is like throw in like 10 seconds or 15 seconds of video, and honestly that's good enough. All right. Let's read the comments here. Everything got softer in general. That's why Well, yeah. I mean, it's not even 2007. Like people turned like 2008, 2009, 2010 into a meme, and like, the rest is history. What's this guy say? Would you ever plan to do? I mean, yeah. What G-Man Squad do you want commentary on? That's what I want. I mean, like episode 1 was, I did the episode 1 commentary of G-Man Squad episode 1. Like I thought that was kind of like a special, unique kind of thing. But like, what other one do you want me to do? Like episode 5, where we had like the Star Fox scene, like episode 2 is kind of like lame, So, as far as commentaries go, like episode 2 was just kind of like a result of, wow, episode 1 was kind of funny. and kind of original. So we had to make another one, and it was kind of stupid. But like episode 3 and episode 4 and episode 5 was kind of like a unique kind of thing. So yeah, the trams episode, there is a behind the scenes like video uploaded by Wolfer that he kind of showed like that whole the sewer surfing, Teenage Mutant Turtles in Time kind of thing. I had like a bad mouse at the time, so like my mouse would like constantly die the whole time we filmed like that tram sequence. So like I was like being kind of like a whiny baby about that at the time, you know. But like that's hey, I was a kid, right? So like you can't like really blame me for that. But like, what is something about the trams episode that you want to like ask about, you know? Oh man, Vanguard's asking. It's only 2:30 at night. I work a really random schedule, so I fell asleep kind of early, and now I'm up and I'm live streaming on YouTube for some kind of retarded reason. So yeah, no. Oh man, so here I'm tired. Ask me about the you hit our friend. I don't really know. So HK Sniper, like he would come up with shit, especially when he was in game, and like we just kind of ran with it, like, you know, like I really don't know. Oh no, that was Darkville, the Australian guy. And you know, I got to give so much credit to him because Darkville was very young at that time, and he would stay up until 4, literally 5. I said in the G-Men Squad commentary that he was up till 4 o'clock in the morning. That's a lie. He was up till literally 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, Australian time. And it's just like, you know, I mean, all I can do is like say thank you. Because, you know, that was part of the appeal of G-Man Squad. Like we had people from around the world that like were a part of those. Like we had Bulgy, who was from England, and he would stay up late. And then we had Darkville from Australia, who was up till like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning to be a part of these videos. We had DM Gaina, who was from Germany, who was up till about the same time. And it's just like, you know, do you have any other similar stories from the internet today? Like, you know, in 2009, like it was just like such a different time back then. Like you could have people from around the world who, you know, they just wanted to be a part of this, you know, and it's crazy. Like, you know, I would have to pay people tons of money to do that now, you know? Yeah. So do I know Kitty 0706? I obviously watch his movies. He was a big thing on Facebook, or Face Punch. I'm sorry. God, I said Facebook. But he was obviously a huge thing at the time. I wasn't a big TF2 guy, so that's why I really don't know Kitty that well. You know, I think it's a great story. You know, he was super popular. I understand that very well. But like, I was never a TF2 guy, so I can't really relate to what Kitty 0706 ever was. Otherwise, other than like, I was like a big fan. You know, he did things that were very, very original at the time and were very new at the time. And, you know, the British talking zombie. Oh yeah, well, that was HK Sniper. The British talking zombies. Like HK Sniper, that was Clyde, and you know he was so funny, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys like a really random story about HK Sniper. So a bunch of us got together in Ohio, and we just hung out, you know, for a couple of days, and we were together in 2 cars. Right? And we're driving down the highway in Ohio, and HK Sniper, the guy who plays Clyde, like he was in the back seat of one of the cars, and like he literally like pulled his pants down and mooned us on the highway. We're driving like 70, 75 miles an hour, and like, because that's just the kind of guy he was. Like he's super funny. Like he literally like, you know, he was so funny when we met in real life. Like a bunch of us met in real life. God, what year was this? Probably 2009, 2010. But like, we had two cars and full of people from our old videos, and we're driving side by side, and we're driving down the highway, and HK Sniper's in the back seat, and he pulls his pants down and he moons all of us. like I mean, hey man, he was just as funny in real life as he was like on the internet. So anything about Gordon Squad? I mean, what do you want to know about Gordon Squad? Like, that was just some kind of bullshit video I did. I mean, the Specialists, I don't know if you guys ever remember, like, the Specialist was kind of like a funny mod. And that's exactly why we made those kind of videos. So what do you think of Ross Scott's Freeman Mind series? It got old real quick. I mean, it's not like the worst series in the world, but like he clearly like milked that for all it's worth. Like, my problem with Ross Scott, like, he used to do Civil Protection, and that like was a series that took like a lot of effort, but then he would make Freeman's Mind, and like that takes no effort at all. And it's just like, wow, well, yeah, good for you, dude. Good for you. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I kind of like the Civil Protection stuff more than Freeman's Mind. I mean, that's just my opinion. He kind of, again, I've talked about this in a previous live stream, but like, he clearly like took that whole situation with Machinima.com to his advantage, because he literally moved to Los Angeles and then realized, wow, oh geez, wish I didn't do that. Like, this is a big mistake. So anyways, but I don't know. What other stories do you want to hear about? Like, hey, I really liked Icton's videos, except for like a few. I mean, the problem with David and DJY was the fact that he kind of just like borrowed from things that already existed. And the thing, I don't want to toot my own horn or anything here, but I'm about to. But like, with us finding Crackbone and HK Sniper and people like that, like, we clearly like came up with our own ideas. And DJY, all he did was like take this, hey, we did the same thing with the George Lopez segment in Counter-Strike for Kids, right? But like with DJY, he would take like these things that existed for 2 or 3 years, and he would make his own video out of it. And I just think that's kind of lame. Sorry, like, at least we came up with like more original ideas than he did. I mean, he did the whole Vape Nation thing. That's the same thing as what that fucking Jew Productions Ethan Klein did. Like, yeah, cool. You made jokes about vapes and stuff like that. Like, I thought that video of David's was pretty good, but at the same time, it's like, you're not like some kind of original person for doing that. So let's see what John C. So what I think about the guy who made Arby and the Chief, like, I think he sucks. I'm sorry. Like, I think all those guys that made Halo videos, they were trying to be like the red versus blue clone. So like, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep hating on DJY, because I really like DJY. I think he's awesome, and we need somebody who's a Canadian that has like good content, because we don't have a lot of Canadians that are like that, right? But like, as far as like John, the guy who made Arby and the Chief goes, like, you're literally playing with action figures. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, come on, like, you can do better than that. Like, I spent an entire month writing some of the videos that we made, like Source Wars and G-Man Squad and stuff like that. So anyway, but were there any plans of doing any Source Wars mission or live action JS? Herderbird. I don't know. No, that was just something. That live action JS, like that Herderbird shit. Like, I was in college at the time, and I thought like maybe like making like some kind of like stupid live action skit and pretending like it was a machinima was funny. But that's just because, like, back in those days, I thought anything was funny, and chances are, when you're making shit in 2009, people will agree with you, especially if you're on like a big name channel. Like, I don't, Ross has so many complaints about Machinima.com, and so do I, but like, they really did a nice thing in promoting a lot of my videos, which they did not have to do. Like the first guy that I worked with, like he didn't have to like promote my videos at the top of their channel, but he did that, and that's a big reason why I think Counter-Strike for Kids went viral. That's a big reason why I think a few of the other videos went viral, and because of him, I don't think I would, you guys would be watching this here today. So I'm really appreciative of that. Like, this is just some random guy from California who like saw like potential in me. I've told different stories like this before, but like when the website like rejected one of my videos, he called me to personally apologize and say like, look, I'm sorry that this happened, but your video is not going to be on this channel right now, and I'm sorry about that. And it's just like, well, wow. I really didn't expect this phone call, but thank you for it. You could argue that playing with Gmod ragdolls and is no effort, and that screaming into the mics is unfunny. Okay, well, great comment there, dude. Would you ever plan to make a Source Wars? No, Source. So we had like I definitely like wrote some ideas for Source Wars Episode 3, but there's no way that you could guarantee that it was going to happen. I mean, like, I definitely didn't even finish the script for Source Wars Episode 3, so that's why it never happened. Like, I don't even think it was halfway finished, and that's exactly why, like, it never, ever happened. So, what's this guy say? John, yeah. I mean, I don't mean to knock the guy who made RB and the Chief, but, like, dude, like, how hard is it to like point a digital camera to a couple of action figures and be like, like go fuck yourself, man. Like, and then people like, oh, and then he used like Microsoft Sam as like the voice actor. Like, dude, that takes like fucking no effort. And that is, I'll end this live stream on this. Like, all you Halo people, like all you wanted to do was like recreate Red versus Blue or make some fucking low effort bullshit where you're playing with action figures and probably touching yourself and all that fucking shit, like, I mean, yeah, great. Maybe you had like some kind of game plan. Maybe you had some kind of, some kind of script beforehand, but like, it's fucking bullshit. Like, I mean, dude, look at our videos. We had a bunch of mentally weird weirdos that fucking got together and made all those G-Man Squad videos. We made Counter-Strike for Kids. We made G-Man Squad. We made all that fucking shit. And, we didn't have to fucking jerk ourselves off and play with action figures. And that's what other people had to do. There were so many Halo videos on the Machinima channel that had fucking no views. Like, they totally flopped because maybe you think, well, Red versus Blue was popular, so maybe I'm going to be popular too. But that's not the case. And I think a lot of us that made the Half-Life videos were way ahead of them, and we did so many more things than those Halo guys would ever do in 1,000 lifetimes. And you gotta like appreciate us for that, like we did things that, at that time, nobody else ever did or ever will do. Like, all those Halo kids were just trying to be the Red versus Blue clone. And I don't know, maybe I'm biased. Like, I went on the Machinima forums in 2003, and I noticed this. Like, there were people that would make Half-Life 1 mods that were very, very complex for their videos, and like they would try to do like these crazy things, and then you look at these Halo videos and it's just people like putting up my gun up and down and talking like with this really shitty dialogue, and it's like there's no comparison there. There's no comparison there. So I don't know. Does anybody have any questions before I go? Because like it's 2:30 in the morning and I should probably go to bed. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm biased. Like, it's easy to make fun of a lot of those Halo kitties, especially because it's like, hey, you ever wonder why we're here? Do you ever wonder why we're here? Oh, it's one of God's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? Like, that's not hard at all to do. You know, people that made like these Half-Life videos, they had to do custom maps, they had to do modding, they had to do all these crazy things, and it's like, you know, we were the GOAT. You know, Ross, DJY, me, Dasbo, Litfuse Films, all those guys. Like, think of how much more effort we had to put into those fucking videos than these fucking Halo retards. It's like, hey, you ever wonder why we're here? Oh, I don't know. It's one of God's great mysteries, isn't it? Like, you know, anybody can fucking write that shit. Anyways, I think I'm going to end it on that. I should probably save this, right? Like, we've been going for 40 minutes, so I should probably not like delete this video. So, any last words? I don't know. Hey, man. I am definitely bummed out that I can't like read the old comments on a lot of my old videos because, like, you know, there's so many good comments there that I will never be able to read again because Machinima took their entire channel down. And like I told you before, like they took down a lot of my videos first and then they took the whole entire channel down. So a lot of that probably has to do with Crackbone having sex with some girl that worked there. It's like, fuck you, Crackbone. Like, why'd you have to do that, man? Come on. You know, but yeah, that definitely made things like really awkward between me and that website. And all I can say is, like, think of how much money I made that website with fucking Counter-Strike for Kids. And I didn't really make shit back in comparison. So fuck that website. You know, fuck everybody. Fuck Los Angeles. Hope you all fucking die. The end. Good night. See you later.